It has been a back-and-forth series for the A's and Angels. Monday, it was all A's as their offense took off, scoring 11 runs, and waiver pickup Felix Dubron got his first win, and the green and gold took game one. Last night, the Angels responded as Matt Shoemaker silenced the offense, and the Halos got the hits when they needed them, and they evened up this series. Today, Sonny Gray will get the ball and try to get that elusive 13th win, as the Cy Young candidate will try to make his September one to remember. It's the rubber game of the series. A's-Angels next. Well, sunshine and baseball on a Wednesday afternoon from the O.co Coliseum. Rubber game of the series. A couple of all-stars squaring off. Mike Trout, of course, he'll hit second for the Angels. And Sonny Gray is going to pitch for the Athletics, looking for that 13th win of the year. So it should be a good ball game. It's the A's and the Angels coming up on CSN California. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Sonny Gray, indeed, looking for that 13th win. Last three starts, he does not have a win, so it's been a little elusive for him. But still, he's so much fun to watch, and we always look forward to him. And today, he takes on Mike Trout.
You know, he's not going to give up a lot of runs, and I think that's the most important thing. When you look at his ERA, still leading the American League, he's got tremendous pitches. He knows how to pitch. He's been pitching in big games for the Athletics going back to the playoffs a couple of years ago. So he's the ace of this ball club. He's pitched well against the Angels, against the entire American League West, and I'm sure he's expecting to do that again today. Even though Trout is in the lineup, Pujols is there, they have a good hitting lineup, but Sonny Gray is excellent.
Well, Marcus Semien has gone through a lot this year. There's been the struggles defensively, but I tell you what, he's worked hard, spent a lot of time with Ron Washington, and we have seen improvement, and it's great to see.
You know, I think from the beginning we knew he's going to be a good shortstop, and he proved it last night just in 3 plays that he made. How about this? Diving up the middle, flipping with just his glove to his Sogard and turn the double play. Just a tremendous play. Remember, he was not even diving for balls in the early part of the season, and then with the heads-up play, runner going to third base, and Murphy, ball in front of him, he threw to third base, a perfect throw. That's not an easy play. He made it look easy with the throw over Murphy. Quick tap by Laurie. And how about this double play? This was on a run and hit. Got out of the way at second base, able to clear himself and complete the 4-6-3 double play. So all things good for him. And again, he's playing a very tough position. He's a rookie, and he knows how to play shortstop now. He's playing great.
And he's been out there every day for the Athletics. So Sonny Gray, and he will square off against the left-hander, the youngster Andrew Heaney, for the Angels. And it is rubber game of the series on a beautiful day for baseball here in Oakland. So the A's trying to get a series win behind their ace. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum right after this.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get the new steak and egg breakfast burrito at Jack in the Box. It's not your basic breakfast burrito. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear.
Well, Sonny Gray and the A's take the field as Sonny looking for that 13th win of the year. He continues to lead the American League in ERA, so we're looking for another good performance from Sonny Gray this afternoon. Game Time Weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Nice day, 70 degrees. A few puffy clouds up high above, but all in all, it's a pretty comfortable day for a ball game. So the A's will play day baseball today and then an off day at home tomorrow, which is always nice, so we'll all look forward to that. But work to do here this afternoon, and it is the rubber game of the series, the A's and the Angels. Let's look at the lineup this afternoon for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Calhoun in right, Trout in center, Pujols the DH, Murphy in left, Ibar at short, Crone at first, Freeze at third, Iannetta is the catcher, and Taylor Featherston is the second baseman.
Everybody talks about Felix Hernandez facing the A's a lot. How about Sonny Gray facing the American League West a lot and having a lot of success? As Sonny Gray has pitched extremely well against both the West as well as the Angels, part of that, and he is trying to pick up the win. The good news about Sonny's last start, did not give up a home run. There were 3 consecutive games that he gave up at least one, and in one he gave up 3, which is unheard of for Sonny Gray, but they were all solos, which is a positive if there is one giving up the long ball. So great pitcher as always, and trying to win it this afternoon and win the series for the Athletics.
Defensively for the A's, Smolinski is in left. Billy Burns back out in center. That's good news. And Josh Reddick is in right. Valencia, Simeon, Laurie, and Canna on the infield. And Fegley is your catcher. Billy Butler will DH today. So Sonny has finished up his warm-up tosses. It's good to see Billy Burns back out there.
And I was just thinking with Sonny Gray and with Billy Burns back, with Sonny Gray, this might be a start for the first time in about 4 that we have not seen him with a beard.
That's true.
Clean shaven. So he's
half a beard.
Yeah,
it's a junior beard.
You mean it when it's on his face? Yeah, but you know he knew it. He got rid of it, and we got the high socks, not the striped socks as Sogard, but he's got the high stirrups anyway.
So first pitch to Calhoun is up and away. So we're underway. Always something nice about day baseball at the Coliseum. Yeah. Weather always seems to be nice. And there's a shot off the glove of Canna. It rolls into foul territory, and Calhoun is aboard. Canna got a fair amount of glove on it, and I think he thought that he caught it.
Yeah, he did. He looked at the glove and realized it was not there, and fortunately not that far, but you look at it, probably took a double away from Calhoun, almost turned it into an out, jumped up great as the ball was hooking down in the corner and then into foul territory. But right there, he thought he had it. Looked at the glove, not there. Where is it? And Sonny Gray, great athlete that he is, went over and got it. And Calhoun always aggressive as a leadoff hitter. We talk about Billy Burns, but Calhoun we have seen in this series just like the A's leadoff hitter.
So leadoff man aboard. Here's Trout. First pitch to Trout is called a strike. Trout is 1 for 7 in the series. 0 for 4 on Monday night, 1 for 3 last night. Pujols to follow here in the first. And Trout drives one toward right center, and that'll get down for a hit. Calhoun reads it, hustles to third, and the Angels are in business here in the very first inning. First and third, nobody out.
Yeah, great inside out swing, and pitch's location outside stayed inside, and Trout with a very quick stroke stayed inside the ball and shot it to right center. And once Calhoun saw the ball in front of him, of course, Angels probably one of the best at going first to third. Slight hesitation, but made it easily to third. As we talked in the series, Kai, for the top part of this batting order, man, it is hard to get through, to navigate through starting with Calhoun, is very aggressive leading off.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So Albert Pujols steps in. Well, I think we both agree, Ray, that it's hard to believe that the Angels are 12th in the league in runs scored.
Cannot believe it. You're right.
I mean, you got Ibar and Cron's rebounded from a slow start. Freese has been on the disabled list a lot lately, but still. And Pujols goes around 0-2. You wonder, could it be that Howie Kendrick is missed this much?
That's right. Yeah. It's a swing on a curveball. Albert not looking for the curveball and a good one. And
Chad Fairchild is calling balls and strikes today. Holberg at first, Joyce at second, Danley at third. Joyce is your crew chief.
Sonny Gray is a strikeout pitcher, and you like to say that, especially first and third, when the A's are conceding a run on a ground ball. Would take two to get 2 quick outs.
And that one bounces away from Fegley. Calhoun's going to score, and the Angels lead 1-0.
That takes away everything.
So that sharp breaking ball, and Fegley tried to block it, couldn't do it.
And Sonny on his list has several wild pitches. This hard curveball, and you know, you just hope with the curveball that's going to bounce. This bounces and hits to the left off of the forearm. Fegley, and there's just really no chance to block it.
So 11th wild pitch for Sonny Gray. And the count 1-2 to Pujols. Pujols with 34 home runs and 77 RBIs. 2 for 7 in the series, with a couple of runs batted in. Curve, and it hung up there, and Pujols had a good swing, fouls it straight back.
It was up in the eyes, unlike the one he swung at and missed for strike 2. This one there, and maybe the fact it was with 2 strikes that it was fouled back by Pujols. I wouldn't try it again, though. Power hitters like those hanging curveballs.
So 2-2 the count with David Murphy in the on deck circle, and the pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Fegley, full count.
Now Fegley will get his work in, and he's already blocked 1 with first and third. Unfortunately, the 1 curveball got away, and does it again with Trout at second.
Stephen Vogt, a little lesson from Stephen Vogt. Yeah. So 3-2 to Pujols. And it's a shot, and it's off of Simeon. It rolls into shallow left field. Trout's going to head to third. He was going back to second.
Wow.
So that ball was hit so hard it almost knocked Simeon over.
And it might have started knuckling right as it approached him, because it was going at him and he missed it. And I hope it's a base hit, because that was, I mean, he started, he got a glove on. I don't know that he ever saw it. The way he started to go to the ground and put his hands up, that's how hard the ball was hit. And I don't blame him. Mike Trout realizing that once the ball hit off the glove and had plenty of time to get to third base, that was a rocket.
Yeah, I'm with you. It may have had a little hook to it.
Yeah, something right at the end, because even though it was hit hard and it's straight, he probably would have caught it, but right at the end, maybe it just changed directions on it.
Murphy bounces one into right field, a base hit. Trout comes in to score. Pujols trying for third. The throw is just a bit late, and Murphy goes to second. So aggressive base running by the Angels. And now it's 2-0 and still nobody out. So Pujols saw that the ball was not necessarily hit real hard, and he kept going, and he made it all the way to third.
Josh Reddick likes to throw, and once the ball got past Canna, and of course that was first and third. Pujols really does not run that well, and Josh Reddick knows that, tried, and just not enough time to get him. And then Murphy, as soon as he saw the throw going to third, he just kept running to second.
And that's a tough spot for the cutoff man, Ray, because you really did have a legitimate chance to throw out Pujols.
Exactly right. And now the A's have to play the infield and try to stop this rally of the Angels.
And the always tough Ibar steps in, infield in. Ibar swings and misses.
Well, Albert did not stop. He just kept going once he saw the base hit, and Angels a very good club running first to third. That's how close, and I mean, you might as well just stay on the bag and try to apply the tag quickly, because the runner's going to be safely into second anyway.
And that's low, 1-1. Interesting inning. 4 hits, a couple of line drives at infielders that off the glove of the A's infielders. So a couple of runs already in the first inning. Generally, Sonny's been very good this year, but tough start. Ibar, a shot. Laurie's got it. Throws to first, and Pujols was dancing around at third, but he stayed, and a nice play by Laurie.
I think Pujols was trying to draw a throw to third base so Ibar could make it, and he had no intent of running. Maybe just trying to get off enough that he could draw the throw, but Laurie did a very good job of catching the ball, looking Pujols back to third, and then on to first base. So that's a big out. And when you're playing in even with the bag, infield in at a shot like that. But Albert, knowing that the ball did not get through, he's not going on contact, and he would have had plenty of time if the throw had gone back to third base.
Here's Crone. Infield stays in, and Fegley with the block. So 1-0 the count. One big out. A couple more to get for Sonny Gray to minimize the damage.
And if he can get out of this with 2, that would be tremendous.
Crone 1 for 8 in the series. He has scored a run. He has knocked in a run. A little bit outside, not by a lot. 2-0.
Well, you always have the possibility of pitching carefully to this power hitter. Very close pitch, and I always think sometimes a catcher might block an umpire, and maybe Fegley came out too quickly, and he likes to throw, but no place to throw. Right now you need strikes and need a big out.
That one is a strike. 2-1 the count.
So it makes you think about the previous pitch, how close that one was, and maybe Fairchild could not see it.
David Freese is the on-deck hitter. Pujols at third. Murphy at second. Bounce towards Simeon. Handles a very tough hop. Throws to first in time. Pujols comes in to score. So 3-0 Angels. But a nice play by Simeon. That ball took a tricky hop, and he was playing in, so he had to quickly range to his left.
And you can see Albert Pujols, as soon as the ball hit the ground, he was taken off. Look at his lead, and immediately going on contact. He was a quarter of the way down the line, and the fact that Simeon was able to catch it, but no chance to get Pujols. Considering where he was playing, if the ball was more directly at him, or Pujols did not get the good jump, he probably would have saved a run. But that's all Albert there, going on contact, something that you always expect with the Angels and a runner at third. They're going to be breaking as soon as the ball hits the ground.
First pitch to Freese is low. Also an example in this inning, Ray, and you talk about it a lot, where a runner with nobody out will not go on contact.
That's right. Yeah.
But with one out, a runner usually does go on contact, and we've seen that in this inning.
It's called 2-out hits are hard to get. And that's why if you have a chance, you go, and if you're out, you're out. But In this case, it worked out because if the ball is directly at Semien, it might be an out.
2-0 the count to Freese, hitting .240. Came off the disabled list for last night's game. It's this one high and foul. Freese missed 36 games. He had a fractured right index finger. He was hit by a pitch back in July, on the 22nd of July. So he's been out for a while. And the Angels need him. Murphy's still at second, and it's a swing and a miss, and now it's 2-2. 23 pitches for Sonny Gray so far in the ball game.
A high fastball, and Freese not able to catch up on a good pitch up in the zone.
Outfield shifted toward right center, well off the line, and left is Smolinski. There's a line drive right field base hit. Murphy's going to be waved home. Reddick cuts it off, gets it in quickly. But a 2-out RBI hit for Freese, and it's now 4-0. The Angels lead off Sonny Gray here in the first.
How familiar does that look for the Angels, and Freese especially? 2 strikes, swings through a fastball, but gets another 2-strike pitch and hits it to right field. Pitch away from him. He really shortens his swing and has a great approach with fastballs going to right field. You have to wonder if the previous pitch that he swung through inside was intentional, or he tried to go outside, just left it up and in, but pretty vulnerable on a pitch inside to where he could not catch up.
So here's Iannetta, the 8th man to hit in the game. Cues that one foul. That's this season. This is his 5th start against the Angels. Very good early, but the last 2 not so good, including June 19th. That game was right here at the Coliseum. He gave up 5 earned runs in 6 innings. Right center hanging up, and it's going to be Reddick who grabs it side, retired. So 4 runs on 5 hits for the Angels in the top of the first. So work to do early for the Athletics. And let's look at their lineup, and it starts with Billy Burns back in there, so that's good news. And then Mark Canha, Brett Laurie, Danny Valencia, Josh Phegley, Jake Smolinski, Billy Butler, Josh Reddick, Marcus Semien. There's your A's lineup.
And Andrew Heaney, who did face the A's, he was with the Marlins, and of course the big trade. And you mentioned Howard Kendrick, and that's kind of the 3-way deal. But Heaney did face the A's last year as a member of the Marlins, but there is not one player in this lineup today that he's faced. Only Stephen Vogt on this roster, really, Craig Gentry, but he's not with the club. So Stephen Vogt, who's not playing today against the lefty, faced him last year in Miami. But now Heaney will be facing a brand new club. Good fastball, 4-pitch pitcher with the left-hander Heaney, who was acquired to bolster their lineup. But when you give up Howie Kendrick, who's going to be a free agent, it's a pretty good bat as far as the Angels not having in their lineup.
First pitch to Burns is in for a strike. 296 for Burns, 3 home runs, 31 RBIs. He was 1 for 5. And that one bounced toward third. Freese playing in, backhands it and throws out Burns. Angels defense looks like this. Murphy, Trout, and Calhoun in the outfield. Freese, Ibar, Featherston, and Cron on the infield with Iannetta doing the catching. So that'll bring up Canna. Yeah, I thought it was really one of the more interesting trades of the offseason because it was a 3-team deal. And D. Gordon was involved in that as well, which has turned out to be a bit of a controversial trade for the Dodgers. They ended up with Howie Kendrick, but as you said, Howie Kendrick's a free agent. D. Gordon's going to be around for a while as far as not being a free agent. But a lot of moving parts there. And when it was all said and done, the Angels got Andrew Heaney and said, hey, we want a young starting pitcher who we're going to have for a while, and Heaney is just that. But he is very young.
Yeah, remember Tyler Skaggs was acquired from the Diamondbacks with Trumbo.
That's right.
To try to get some pitching and get younger.
But Heaney has a chance to be very good, and the Angels are hoping that that is the case. He's only 24 years old, 6'2", 185 pounds.
And also know that the Dodgers have plenty of money. If they want to sign Howie Kendrick as a free agent, they can do it. If he wants to stay there, which I don't know why he wouldn't.
1-2 pitch, foul back. This is the draft of Andrew Heaney. He was the 9th player picked in the 2012 draft. And there's the first 8. Carlos Correa, pretty good choice. Buxton, good choice. Zunino, he struggled. Mark Appel, remember Mark Appel did not sign. He ended up being drafted by the Astros. So that is the 2012 draft. Again, Andrew Heaney, the 9th overall pick out of Oklahoma State.
You look, the Astros taking Correa number 1. It's because the Astros were horrible, and they made some good drafts, good picks, because they were able to pick early.
One, 2 is high. Well, pitching is at such a premium, in pitching that you can control and not lose to free agency for 3, 4, 5 years. That's golden, but it's going to cost you if you trade for that. And for the Angels, it cost them Howie Kendrick. He's got one of those in Sonny Gray. The catcher Iannetta coming back. He's got room, shading his eyes, and he makes the catch. So 2 away, a little bit more on Andrew Heaney. 0-3 last year, and again, that was with the Marlins. This year, much better. And I remember his game against the A's, and we talked a lot about how young he was and really had not pitched at the big leagues very much, but you could tell he had a chance to be really good, but the A's beat him that day. Fair down the first base line, and Laurie digging for 2, and Calhoun having some trouble picking it up, but he does pick it up and get it back in. Laurie with the 2-out double.
And that's the aggressiveness of Brett Laurie that, well, first 2 batters got a chance to see some pitches that he threw. Heaney threw to the first 2, but first pitch fastball, wide weight around might be the best pitch you see. And Brett Laurie has done that quite often this year. And that is great hitting. He's got the big swing, winds up, and then perfect down the right field line. No movement by Cron at first because there's no chance for him to get it.
So that'll bring up Valencia. Valencia at 299 with 12 homers, 46 RBI. That double by Laurie is the 6th double for the A's in this series, and the A's are now 3rd in the American League in doubles. They've had a bunch lately.
Valencia had 2 in the opener of this series, 1 off the wall, 1 down the left field line.
The A's have not necessarily hit a lot of home runs this year. They're 13th in the league in home runs hit with 108. They're 10th in the league in runs scored. They're 7th in stolen bases. They have not struck out a lot. A's have the 2nd fewest strikeouts in the American League. Featherston staying close to second base, and there's a line drive base hit right field. Here comes Calhoun. He's got a pretty good arm. The throw to the plate is just a bit late. Laurie scores, and the A's are on the board. So a 2-out RBI hit for Valencia.
Well, one thing about a base hit like that with Calhoun's arm, and he's going to throw to the plate. This is where Valencia can just continue to run. He could be into second base with this base hit, especially with the throw going to the plate, and even more so with Iannetta bobbing the ball as it came to the plate. And Calhoun really overthrew everybody. And Brett Laurie was going to score easily, and I'm surprised that Calhoun even threw to the plate, especially to miss the cutoff man. But he got lucky that Valencia's still at first.
So Fegley steps in. He takes outside. So 47th RBI for Valencia. I think, too, Ray, as a base runner, as you get to first base and you're watching the play develop, because of where you are and where the right fielder is, you can see the angle of the ball if it's going to overshoot the cutoff man.
Yeah, the arc, the trajectory, whatever you want to say, you can see. And when you have to throw that far from the outfield, you have to throw it higher instead of down low to hit the cutoff man. And that's why Murphy went to second the way he did on the throw by Reddick to third base. He just kept running.
Fegley drives one center field. Trout going back. Still going back. At the wall. And that baby's gone. And the A's are right back in it.
Two quick outs, 3 big hits, and nothing bigger than this one on the fastball. Josh Fegley straightaway center field, and I don't even know that the evening would have kept this ball in the park. Andrew Heaney knew it, and no chance for Trout to make a miraculous play on this one. Ball clearly over his head, over the fence, and a 4-3 game very quickly. Josh Fegley. I still go back to Stephen Vogt. Stephen Vogt would like to catch every day, but as he said, nobody hits left-handed pitchers better than Josh Fegley. He just proved it with that fastball.
So 8th home run, 31 RBIs for Fegley, and it's 4-3. This one grounded up the middle, and it's going to be a hit. Smolinski's going to try for 2. No, he's not. He stops and then slips a little bit and gets back to first. But boy, it was an interesting shift. Ibar was well in the hole, and right when Smolinski hit it, you could tell that Ibar was going to have a tough time making that play.
Well, he got jammed, and you're right. Look at that split up the middle, and because he did get jammed, he's not able to pull it, and Ibar actually kicked it into right field, hustled after it, and Smolinski thinking about going to second. Very smart move by hitting the ground. Like Featherston thought Ibar was going to catch it, and that's when he kicked it, actually accidentally off the foot, and kicked it under Featherston, who was jumping.
So all this after 2 outs. Double, single, homer, single. Butler's 3 for 7 in the series with a double.
And the 3 pitches that were hit by Laurie, fastball down the right field line, Valencia base hit to right field on a fastball, and Fegley straightaway center fastball. I think as a pitcher you want to establish a fastball early in the game, but after getting 2 quick outs, not a lot of pitches, and then all of a sudden 3 hits and 3 runs, that's a different ball game.
Little inside, 2-1 to Butler. So Mike Scioscia probably not thrilled about this.
No.
Give your young pitcher a 4-0 lead, and he gives 3 right back. And now it's 3-1.
Speaking of Miami, that's where Sonny Gray pitched last year after getting a start off. He got 4 runs in the first inning.
Right.
Hardly made it out of the 4th inning, and he was disappointed himself because that's a game that went 13 or 14 innings. But today, after giving up 4, he's got 3 back already.
Butler, little flare, and it's over the glove of Featherston. Smolinski to third, and the inning continues.
Sometimes you know you're living right. Featherston came so close, and he was able to play deeper and just could not get back quickly enough. The ball on the 3-1 jam Billy Butler, but it strong enough that he was able to get it off the glove of Featherston. And actually the play by Ibar to keep Smolinski at first saved him a run, because with this ball it would have been a run scoring single. Smolinski now third, looking for another 2-out hit. Just that close. After actually, if it goes in the pocket, he catches it, but it was just off the edge of the glove. Difficult play, especially in the sun. Not a bad 8th place hitter in Josh Reddick with 15 home runs, 66 driven in, and trying to get a big hit here, keep it going.
And Reddick takes outside 280, the average for Josh, with 15 home runs, 66 RBIs. He's improved so much against left-handed pitching. Overall on the year, hitting .229 against lefties, but there was a time not that long ago it was about 150.
Yep.
Swing and a miss.
We often say it, and you don't even think that hitters would think about it, but every at bat you can see the reaction. Reddick does not get a hit. He gets very upset either with the swing or the ball not dropping in for a hit, or making a swing like that on a breaking ball. But this is when he kind of shortens up and starts to think opposite field. Committed, as Pujols did on a curveball from Sonny Gray. It seemed like an hour ago, but it was just top of the inning.
Maybe it was an hour ago. Game started at 12:38 and it's 1:08. So it's a half hour. Two and two on a close pitch. So Heaney has thrown 27 pitches here in the first.
I think we're pretty confident that when Sonny Gray takes them out on top of the second, it's going to be a different Sonny Gray.
You would think.
I think we're going to see the guy that we have seen throughout this season, and after giving up 4, but all of a sudden he's going to go back at least down by 1, if not a tie or a head. Good at bat again. Good breaking ball, but nice take by Josh Reddick.
Butler will go at first. Smolinski is the runner at third. And it's a swing and a miss. So Reddick strikes out, but the A's bounce back with a 3 spot. Part of that, Fegley's 2-run homer. So after 1, a lot going on. Angels 4, A's 3.
quality on MLB.com Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widgets, and more. Visit MLB.tv today.
So it is 4-3 as Taylor Featherston, the 9th place hitter, leads off for the Angels. So we think Sonny Gray is going to lock in here.
Just took him 26 pitches to get going.
He's been good at shutdown innings this year. Gave up 5 hits in the first inning. Good curve, 0-2. Featherston hitting 135 with a homer and 5 RBIs. 13 hits on the year, 3 doubles to go along with that home run. Tries to curve again, so Fegley's been working hard here in the early going.
But that's a curveball that you like because it bounces in front and straight up. The one that got by him hit the dirt, and it usually on a curveball it's going to go the opposite direction, spin back to the left as it approaches the catcher, and just unfortunately hit off the forearm on Fegley.
Tried it again, and Featherston laid off. Well, Ray's talked a lot about this. In fact, Ray, you were on top of it early with the curveball used less this year, from 27% down to 13%, and the slider more, from 8% to 18%. And that was Sonny Gray's choice, right?
Absolutely.
He said, you know what? I like the slider a little bit more.
This time comes right back, good sinker down and in. And for Sonny Gray, good start to this second inning after Calhoun led off with a base hit in the first, and he's back up again. But the key for Sonny already in this inning, 5 pitches, they've all been down, even to the point of bouncing them.
Calhoun swings and misses. Calhoun singled and scored in the first inning. Calhoun had 3 hits last night.
See, that's the curveball, and that's one that it's thrown a little bit slower, and the spin is the same as the slider, but hitters sometimes can recognize it better. And while he throws a very good curveball, but the hard slider is one that when it looks like a fastball, acts like a hard splitter, makes it difficult to catch. Fastball down and in last night, and Dan Otero gave up first run of the Angels in a long time. But this a no doubter to right field.
So 3-1 now to Cole Calhoun. Calhoun was 0 for 5 on Monday, 3 for 5 last night, 1 for 1 today.
Remember, when Buck Showalter put Manny Machado leading off. He's aggressive, can hit home runs, and Calhoun now is at 21. Machado in the mid-20s. You get a power hitter leading off, you can get on the board early.
And it's a walk. First walk issued by Gray, so in this inning he gets his first strikeout and he issues his first walk.
Now batting, number 27.
So that'll bring up Trout.
Mike Trout.
He singled in the first inning. Went the other way toward right center. What's funny about Trout, Ray, is he's one of those hitters. He's such a good hitter, and he's not afraid to wait a long time and foul balls off to the right side, maybe even be a little late occasionally because he waits a long time, which helps you not go after bad pitches. But if you think of how many foul balls he hits to the right as compared to foul balls he pulls, it's not even close.
That's right.
He very seldom gets out in front of a ball.
That's trusting the hands, knowing the strength, and can wait, see a pitch a long time, and really means he's not going to swing a lot of bad pitches. See, that's a hard slider there. That's the one that that Sonny started to throw to Trout last year after Trout hit that curveball that was just smoked to left center. But Trout's swing is ideally suited for the pitches that are down. I mean, anytime a hitter can get underneath a pitch that's down that normally hitters on top of it hitting the ground and he hits it out, pretty special hitter.
0-2 pitch in the dirt, and we've said this about Trout too, is his swing, it's almost more, he's almost more like a left-handed hitter. Yeah. He's a good low ball hitter.
With 11 strikeouts, but one of those home runs, one of the 2 home runs caused the 11 strikeouts. He said enough of that, and that's how good Sonny is, that he's able to make changes, and especially in with certain hitters in certain situations.
Reaches for that one, hits it in the air toward Reddick, and Reddick is under it, and that's the second out.
Yeah, this was it, and watch this curveball. This is a good pitch. Right down below the knees, maybe. He said, "You got to be kidding me." And he looked back, the catcher said, "That's a good curveball," and it was. That was last year, and things changed this year, and Trout just hit a slider to right field. He threw it harder, Sonny did, and as a result, Trout was not able to do something similar to what he did last year.
So that'll bring up Pujols with Calhoun still at first. Pitch number 41 is a curveball for a strike. Albert Pujols is 5 for 26 in his career against Sonny Gray. One of those 5 hits came in the first inning. And now it's 0-2.
It's good pitching. Looked like he was looking fastball first pitch, got the curve. Might have been thinking off speed, second pitch, got the fastball. That's the beauty of calling a game and a pitcher hitter, especially a great hitter like Albert Pujols.
And that one is lined toward left center, and it is gone.
You got to be kidding me.
High line drive, just got over the wall, over the 362-foot sign, and Pujols has homered, and it's 6-3.
That is an 0-2 pitch. Remember, he hit the ball his first at bat that almost knocked Simeon in left field. He just dropped the head, and that was, if it had hit the wall, it might have knocked it down, knocked the panel down on Monday night. He's running hard, thinking it might hit the wall. The A's were hopeful of that, and it just snuck over the 362 to the right.
So that was career home run number 555 for Albert Pujols. 555. So he is tied with Manny Ramirez for 14th on the all-time home run list. 8 behind Reggie Jackson. Laurie has it. When he went to do the jump throw, he dropped the baseball, and Murphy's aboard. So that'll be a hit. Kind of one of those days so far for Sonny Gray.
Well, he said he's going to jump, and when he did the transfer, he lost the ball. And at that point, figured that, I don't know, maybe catch the ball, stop and throw. He has such a strong arm anyway, but maybe felt more comfortable to jump and throw.
So 7 hits now off Sonny Gray in the ball game, and here is Eric Ibar. And Ibar rolls one foul right toward the Angels dugout.
.555. That's amazing.
And his 4th against the A's this year. Well, you start thinking about it, and certainly a lot of different things can happen. But 555, and he's got 6 years left on a contract. And in watching Albert Pujols, he has not lost any bat speed.
No, he hasn't. Matter of fact, he might have picked up.
Yeah.
He has a ball like that.
So, who knows? Oh, 2 to Ibar is low.
Well, this would have been a great inning to put up a 0, and just looked like Calhoun was the one to get on base in front, and Josh Phegley again, catcher's mitt on the ground. Before Sonny Gray started to warm up, Marcus Jensen was throwing balls in the dirt to Josh Phegley down in the bullpen. I mean, that's just preparation every day of the work, and Marcus Jensen has done a very good job, and that's the reason guys are blocking balls as well as they have been this year.
Simeon charges, gets a good hop. He'll take it himself. Side retired. Albert Pujols does it again. His 35th home run of the year. A 2-run shot that scored Calhoun. Bottom of the second coming up. Angels 6 and the A's 3.
A's fans, this Bud's for you. At the Budweiser 1876 bar, the music located behind section 129. If your glass empty, this Bud's for you. If your soda battery empty, grab your phone and your Buds. Head to the Budweiser 1876 bar, which in addition to serving great home and Budweiser products, also has cell phone charging stations for your convenience. Only at the Budweiser 1876 bar, behind section 129.
Hashtag CSNCA Data Strong Fan. And hey, you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. So the A's now trailing 6-3 as Marcus Semien leads things off. So 4-0, 4-3, 6-3. Could be one of those days, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
Driven foul down the right field line.
Really the good news for both clubs, regardless of what happens, you can figure you got a chance to come back. Both pitchers, neither pitcher really showing dominance at this point.
And the 1-2 pitch, foul tip, and that's a strikeout. So Semien is retired, 1 away.
Now batting, center fielder, number 1, Billy Burns.
So now Burns steps in. This is the 16th meeting of the year between the A's and the Angels. Calhoun's under it. A's are 7-8, and they'll play 3 more times down in Anaheim.
First pitch change up to Billy Burns, and a good pitch from Heaney to the outside part of the plate. Billy, of course, always aggressive. Swung at the first one, and so maybe the A's can do what they did last inning. First 2 outs and then a whole bunch of hits. 5 consecutive hits, scoring 3.
So Canna steps in. He fouled out to the catcher in the first. Sounds like there's a lone drummer out there, doesn't it, Ray?
You just now noticed?
Well, no, I actually noticed at pitch 1 of the game.
I did too. I thought the interesting thing last night was the cow band down the left field line, the drummer in right field, who's here every game.
It was 30 against 1.
And then the music in between innings. Yeah. So, I mean, you had a lot of things going on.
A lot of noise.
Trying to bring rain. Looking up to see the clouds. He said, I'm getting close.
And I'm not going to stop till it rains. So 3-1 to Canna. In the hole, Ibar has it. Throws and safe. Crone came off the bag.
That was a late call. Mike Socha going to take a look at it. Pat Holberg, the first base umpire. Good hustle again by Mark Canna. We have seen that often, and I think Ibar thought a little extra time, but then the ball started to tail on him a little bit. Crone coming off, and that's a good call by Mr. Holberg, and I would think Mike Socha is going to say, let's play baseball. Slight fumble by the shortstop Ibar, but Crone definitely coming off the bat. Great shot there, guys, to see the foot coming off as he reached for the ball. And it was about 6 inches, and that's the reason Holberg waited and then made the correct call.
So it is an E6. Laurie goes after the first pitch, skies it toward Trout, who moves over into right center. Shades are on. He's got it side retired. Runner left. We're through 2 at the Coliseum. 6-3 Angels lead.
The A's play host to their Cross Bay rivals, the Giants, from September the 25th through the 27th. Come out and support the green and gold as the A's close out the year's home slate. Get your tickets now online at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 510-638-GO-A's. And they'll be sitting there the final 3 home games just like that, talking about all the good things that happened this year.
First pitch to C.J. Cron is low. Cron had a RBI ground out in the first inning, picking up his 31st RBI of the year. So Sonny Gray desperately needs a 3-up, 3-down inning.
And with just a few pitches, because always look at the pitch count. He's at 51 now, 52 coming up, just the third inning.
So 2-1 the count. Freeze to follow, and then Iannetta. So 3 right-handed hitters for Sonny Gray here in the third. And a breaking ball, and Cron missed it. Simeon to his left, throws, and they get C.J. Cron. So 1 away, and that'll bring up David Freese.
Good range. Marcus Simeon's to his left, and they put it out after last night. 3 excellent plays defensively, and this one again this afternoon. Like that note at our open, talking about Simeon, the errors early in the season, how few he has made recently, and just getting more comfortable, and realize also that as a rookie, back to your point about the rookies playing in September, something they really have not done before, especially meaningful games. Something they'll remember as their careers progress, especially playing, in case of Simeon like he is now, Billy Burns, Mark Canha, 3 rookies on this club.
Freese swings and misses. So 1-1 the count. 2-out RBI single for Freese in the first.
This is a pitch he threw up and into Freese's first at bat, swung and missed, and then hit a fastball away to right field. And that was for a 2-out base hit, which turned out to be a big one.
This one tapped at home plate. In that race for the AL Cy Young Award, which we keep a close eye on because of Sonny Gray. Today, unfortunately, not helping Sonny. Dallas Keuchel is 16-6 with a 2.24 ERA. And we think at this point he may be the front runner. David Price in the mix. So 2-2 the count. Felix Hernandez a 15-game winner. Keuchel, the ERA 2.24, which was second to Sonny Gray coming into today. Price 13-5, 2.47. All up there in innings pitched. So we think those are the 4 strongest candidates, and that's a swing and a miss by Freese, and that's strikeout number 2 for Sonny Gray.
It's a great curveball with 2 strikes right over the top. Sharp breaking curveball, and Sonny Gray threw it. Freese swung and missed.
Chris Iannetta.
So rotation 12-6 and straight down over the top, and a good one.
So 2 outs for Chris Iannetta. Sonny Gray is 5th in the league in innings pitched. Keuchel is 2nd. Price is 3rd. Sonny is 10th in the league in strikeouts. Keuchel is 5th. Price is 4th. And Price's ERA is 4th in the league. Keuchel's is 2nd, and Sonny's is 1st. And again, that's coming into today. So that's where they stand statistically. So Sonny needs some wins.
And again, it's the Baseball Writers that Association. Certain people vote on MVP, Cy Youngs, rookies, etc. Vote has to be entered before or by at least the final game of the regular season.
Well, Keuchel was named the American League Pitcher of the Month today. for the third time this year. Edwin Encarnacion was named the American League Player of the Month. Those awards just came out today.
Donaldson could have been, and yet it was Encarnacion on the same team.
Check swing roller right to Canna, and it is going to be a 3-up, 3-down inning. So Sonny Gray trying to settle things down. Bottom of the third coming up. It's the Angels 6 and the A's 3. On CSN California is brought to you by Play Flag Football. Register your child today at playflagfootball.com. So beautiful day in the Bay Area, and it's a 6-3 Angels lead.
What a beautiful day that Jim Barnett is here. You got to be kidding me. Where have you been, front runner? You didn't know we were on air? Of course we're on air.
You know what?
The game's playing.
You know what? The fact that Jim just said, I didn't know you were on air. I don't buy that 1 second. You knew we were on air.
The great Jim Barnett.
They call him JB.
Has blessed us with his
How you doing, buddy?
Nice hat.
Hey, thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here on a beautiful day. And less than a month, it'll be next door. Warriors in the nice. Heck of a catch.
Do you just want to do play-by-play and color? You can't wait to get back to work. You're practicing on a baseball game.
I tell you what, this is a great sport, isn't it? You guys do a great job.
You
I
have
love
your
it.
ring yet? You have your ring?
No one measured me yet, so I don't have anything. I don't even have a measurement.
So congratulations.
You take anything
World
right?
champions, huh?
Yeah, and you go around, and there's so many Warrior fans now. It's terrific, and they say, well, can they repeat? And that's the whole question. That's the tough question: is are they going to be champs again? No one's worried about making the playoffs or this.
You know what though? How about enjoying the one that was won, huh?
I think we've all enjoyed it.
That's great.
It's been a very short summer. Tom Mad's working in the truck there. He's taking care of me. Thank you, Tom.
By the way, Jimmy. How about that?
What do you think, Jim's that got a chance to go?
It keeps.
It's daytime. It's daytime. Hey, by the way, it's September the 2nd, and this is the first day you have come up here. That is disappointing.
Well, I've been sitting down below a few times.
No, you haven't. If that's the case, Tommy would have found you. So you have not been here. Because if you would have been here, you would have been right where you are right now because we know you want to get on camera.
Hey, Ray.
Don't put your arm around me. Come on.
Yeah, I've never seen you at a Warrior game in years.
You've never invited me. I've called you for tickets, and you just don't even answer my call.
I tell you what, Ray Fosse at a Warrior game, that I do want to see.
That's an anomaly, isn't it?
That would be a good one.
That's an anomaly to have Ray Fosse and Warriors in the same sentence.
Well, you could get a couple of seats for Carolina. Maybe we go down front row. I'm sure you could arrange that. Stick around.
Yeah,
You've been so good at this half inning of getting nothing.
If I'd known Kara was up here all the time behind the cameras, I'd have come up here a long time ago.
There's your home. Jim Barnett's world champion Golden State Warriors.
We get your chair, but we can't afford it, so you've got to stand on your knees.
It's time to give away one of the best prizes in the
It's at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll have all the baseball highlights and clubhouse reaction from this A's game and a feature on Cal quarterback Jared Goff. Med Fareed and Dave Feldman will host. So we're having fun with the great Jim Barnett from the Golden State Warriors.
Take your sunglasses off so that we can see you. There you go.
I always wear those glasses. Nice Oakleys. Good biking glasses.
Oh, my gosh. Now you're wanting to get some more freebies, aren't you?
I wish they did sponsor me.
So what do you do in the offseason or the summertime getting ready for the next Warrior season?
Well, it's a short summer, thank goodness, this year. And that's for everyone, all the players, the management, everyone concerned. But, you've got the Las Vegas Summer League. You have to pay attention to that. They treat that just as a regular season now. There's really hardly an off season for anyone in this league nowadays. And I'm hoping that some of those, Stephen Curry's going to be in the Orient on a week-long tour, going every day another different city and so forth. I hope he gets a little rest before training camp. But don't overlook this. They've got a lot of mental toughness they gained throughout the finals, and they want to win it again.
Sure.
And again. I know the West got tougher. I know with LaMarcus Aldridge in San Antonio, that makes them very, very good, and the Warriors didn't have to play them last year in the playoffs. But I like the roster moves. I like Jason Thompson, the addition there. They save money doing that. And it's going to be an exciting season. I'm really more excited now because last year it kind of blindsides you when they play like that and then win a championship. And now it's expected, and excellence is expected, as well it should be. So it's going to be exciting each and every game.
2-2 the count to Taylor Featherston with Calhoun to follow in Trout. Backhanded by Canna. 2 Sonny Gray, 1 out. Jim, I got to ask you about the finals, and certainly we were all fans watching, but me personally, I wasn't as invested in, oh my gosh, every play, but I just did not see a way that the Cavaliers could beat the Warriors. As great as LeBron James was, but as you watch those games,
right,
you could just tell that the Warriors, were a better team, and the Cavs, as great as he is, they're there just wasn't enough there. Did you kind of feel the same way, even though you knew that it's still a great series and you're playing against a great team?
Oh, that was evident just by the way LeBron James played the game. He controlled the basketball
all the time.
All the time. I could never figure that out, why he didn't let somebody else handle the ball and then have him go down to the low block and post up there and save some energy, but he never did. They didn't use that option. And, J.R. Smith he's going to shoot you into games, but he'd more than often shoot you out of games. And the Warriors, it was just like that Memphis series. They got down 2-1, and all of a sudden, that's where the mental toughness aspect comes into play. And I just thought it was just tremendous for them. And Cleveland wasn't really in it. That's exactly right. As they get that little blooper into left field.
There's Cole Calhoun on base for the third time. A couple of singles and a walk.
How loud is Oracle in the season in general, but especially in postseason?
They love this team. But everybody loves this team. I do a lot of traveling. I was in Tennessee just a couple of weeks ago visiting an old friend of mine, Clyde Lee, who's one of the great Warrior players of all time, great rebounder. I'll tell you how good Clyde Lee was, by the way. 73 playoffs playing the Milwaukee Bucks, and Nate Thurman got in foul trouble. Clyde went in and played Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He ended up with 18 points and 20 rebounds, and the Warriors beat them in Game 5 and came home and settled the series.
Nice memory.
Yeah, it's just that's the kind of player he was. People don't know about him, but that's about the NBA and tremendous players that you don't really know about in the history of that. But
so you were traveling all over the country, except coming up here where you're always invited. you didn't come up to see us until September the 2nd. I'm really kind of disappointed because I thought you were a good guy and that you didn't take all this winning seriously to the point that you would just throw us under the bus. I mean, it's amazing.
It's amazing you hold on to it this long.
Well, I mean, seriously, because we're accustomed to seeing you all the time, right, Kipe? I mean, he's up here all the time.
Jim, I feel like I don't even know you anymore. Oh, we're teasing you. We have to give you a hard time.
Oh, I know. That's fine. It's fine. I love you guys. You love me. Hey, what's there not to love with us here?
Ooh. Drive toward Reddick. He's going to get there. He makes the catch. But about the Warriors, I think you win a championship because they're an extremely talented team. But the thing that kind of sticks out after the wins and losses, they seem like such a likable group. And listen, in the NBA, there's players that aren't terribly likable. But the Warriors seem to have a whole group of them, and that makes it easier for them to cheer for. And I think it makes the Bay Area even more proud of the team because not only are they really good, but they seem like really good guys.
There's no question about that, Glenn. It's called chemistry.
Yep.
It's called chemistry. And you've got chemistry. That's like having another player on your team and you play with 6 players rather than 5. It's so vitally important. And you can identify, the fans identify with this team. There's no question about that. It's pretty remarkable. But it starts at the top. It starts with Joe Lacob and Peter Guber and what they've done and the hiring. And I can't say enough about Steve Kerr. He is. But I'm telling you right now, and I've said this, and I'll say it on air here. He could be the governor of California, and he would get people to work.
Not a terrible thought, Jim.
I'll tell you what, they ought to throw him in the presidential race. Put him in that Republican group over there.
He'll never be more popular.
Oh, I mean,
so you got a group who's young, really talented, and really likable. That is, I mean, you can't ask for a better combination.
Not at all. And so that's why I think these are going to be spectacular years. This is a great opportunity for everybody, fans and players alike.
2-1 now to Albert Pujols.
Sonny Gray started today, right?
Yes.
That's him pitching right
now.
Yeah,
I know that. But I'm looking at the score. And
yeah, we're not used to it either, quite frankly.
We're not. He put up a 0 last inning, but it's the first 2. And
but they hung with him, stayed with him.
Of course.
We were grumpy about it till you came in and you put a smile on our face, Jim.
I like Sonny.
He's a good pitcher.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's a nice guy like Steph Curry. We had Steph up here a couple of years ago before you stopped coming up.
A little breaking ball there didn't hit that corner, did it?
You notice how Fegley's blocking all these pitches? You notice that? You watch. This is good. This is good setup right here. Watch this. That's good.
Got his body in front of him.
That's good.
Got the glove down low, so there's nowhere for the ball to go.
That's right. Sonny is a little frustrated today, and he's accustomed to just blowing through the lineup and not giving up anything. When Pujols hit the home run his last at bat on an 0-2 pitch, it was down, and he crushed it over the 362.
High in the air to right field. When Reddick makes the catch, we're going to say goodbye to the great Jim Barnett. Jim, congratulations again. You do a wonderful job.
Can't wait to see your ring.
Thank you, Ray. Thanks for having me up. Nice to see you.
Glad you decided to come up.
Okay.
JB in the house.
The big man. You're the best.
Show presented by Comcast Business Class. And today, going to be Kay Adams, Roto World and NBC Sports fantasy football analyst, and Darren Arbett. He's the head coach of the arena champion San Jose SaberCats. Congratulations to the SaberCats. And Beth Mowens, the Raiders Network play-by-play, will be in the house with Jim Cosmore. So, check it out. Butler drives one right center. Trout can't get it. One hops the wall. So Butler hustling into second, and he's got a sliding double. So Billy Butler's 2 for 2. A good start for the A's here in the bottom of the fourth. And that'll bring up Reddick.
Once again, we're seeing Billy Butler do what we're accustomed to seeing him before he became an A, and now even more so, going and finding the gap. He got a bloop single his first at bat. This one, a line drive to right center, and the most important thing, going for 2. He knows it should be a double. He's busting it all the way, and he's able to get into second even though the throw was close, and a leadoff double for the A's DH today.
So an opportunity, A's need to take advantage as Reddick takes a strike. It's always great to see Jim Barnett. Still on cloud 9 from the season the Golden State Warriors had.
You know, he talked about a short offseason. He said they start the 28th. I mean, they no more finished in here. They're starting again.
You finish in June. And the long basketball season, long postseason for the NBA.
And Josh Reddick, of course, he has in his mind, even though the A's are down the way they are, by 3 runs at least trying to get Billy over to third base, and he's staying with him. It's 300th double. Congratulations to Billy for this 300th. He's staying away with the breaking pitches to Josh Reddick.
Strike called, 1-2. Reddick doesn't agree with Chad Fairchild. .51 pitches for Andrew Heaney. Strike 3 called, and Reddick's not going to be happy. So he strikes out for the second time.
He never went back to the breaking pitch. 3-1, and then back-to-back fastballs. And according to Chad Fairchild, the outside corner. And that's what he's looking at, right over the plate. And actually, Fairchild, give him credit, he moves over the plate instead of staying in the slot. Well, he has to look at an angle. So.
Ray, it looked like a situation. I mean, it looked like a good pitch, and maybe Reddick looking for a breaking ball.
Yeah, it could have been.
So Semien hits one away here in the fourth. Crone into foul territory, still moving, and he cannot quite come up with it.
If you don't get to the ball in foul territory here and try to get under it, you cannot drift and try to make a play. And unlike the ball down the third base line will come back, this will keep going towards the foul line. He never had it. Sun was in his eyes and nearing the bullpen. And then the ball tried to reach out and make the play. But ideally, you try to run where you think the ball is and then wait for it to come down instead of drifting.
Semien struck out swinging in the second inning. 3 strikeouts for Heaney. He has not walked anybody. Inside, 2-1. Semien 3 for 8 in the series. That one is lined to right, and Calhoun's going to play it on a hop. And Butler holds up. Calhoun hits the cutoff man. First and third, 1 out.
That time, Billy Butler actually got a very good jump, read the ball perfectly, and the ball bouncing in front of Calhoun. But Ron Washington had to hold him up, which is a good idea. Calhoun charged it very well, got the ball back in. Excellent hitting by Marcus Semien, going opposite field. Staying with the pitch, going the opposite way, and that's a smart and a good job of hitting. And Billy actually very good. That's when you try to pick up where the outfielder's playing and know the way the ball is hit. You can get the jump.
Third at bat for Billy Burns. Burns with a ground out and a fly ball to right field. If he hits a fly ball here, it's going to have to be at least mid-level distance for Butler to score.
Well, the Angels are going to play for 2, so ideally hit a ball towards the middle and bust it down the line, avoid being doubled up, and let Billy Butler score. But you know, last time at bat for both Burns and Laurie, 2 guys who were aggressive. They got that pitch right there. Change up to Billy Burns, his first pitch popped up, and the same to Brett Laurie. 2 guys who got fastballs that hit. Got hits at least. Laurie did with a fastball down the line. He got a first pitch change up. This is a gift run if they can find a way to get it in, and still just the 4th inning. A lot of time left and a run that you need to score.
Way inside, 2-1. 7 hits now for the A's. There's been 15 hits in the game. So 2-2. Fastball at 90 miles an hour from Heaney.
So almost like he's looking for another changeup. Chris Iannetta, if you go with him, he's a very good catcher in calling pitches, and he knows the hitters. Going back to changeup here on the 2-2 pitch. Uh-oh, that was a late time called by the catcher, and I guess he didn't like what he called.
Huh.
But he wanted to go through again, and that was with the runner at first and third. He called it late, and he was ready. It wasn't his fault, and it wasn't Billy Burns' fault. And he changed to a slider.
And here it is, and Burns holds up, full count.
It's interesting that he would stop a pitcher as he's delivering a pitch because he's unsure of what he just called.
Yeah.
And he called the changeup, and then when he went back through the signs, it was a slider. Check swing and a good block by Iannetta. More importantly, Billy Burns did not offer it the slider.
Checking on Semien. He could take off here.
Now this is the way to stay out of a double play if the runner at first does run, and there's contact, of course, by Billy Burns. They also have to worry in a hard hit ball. If Semien does run and Butler takes off, they could go to the plate.
Outfield shallow. The pitch is reached for and fouled right up over the screen. So Semien was on the move. He'll head back to first.
Well, that 3-2 offering was a changeup with Semien running. A fastball in.
Here it is, and it's line foul. So good battle here in an important spot, even though it's just the fourth inning. Shallow center. Featherston backs up. He's got it. 2 outs. He had to hustle back, but was able to get there and make the play. 2 away, and it's up to Canada to come through.
Well, that's a big one. That's a fastball. Got it in the hands. It could not hit it hard enough to get it over Featherston, and Trout playing shallow, but I don't know if he'd have gotten to it, but Featherston able to get with his back to the outfield, turn, and no chance of Billy Butler. He had to go halfway.
So Canna hits. He has fouled out and reached on an error. Canna is 1 for 9 in this series. Butler's at third. He led off this inning with a double. Semien is at first. First pitch is outside.
I always like to see a catcher. In that case, a ball just barely hit the ground, and if the catcher just threw the ball back, maybe the pitcher could make some funny things happen. Maybe catchers don't want it. They always ask for new baseball instead of taking the stuff.
Just throw it back to the pitcher.
Yeah. Let the hitter ask for new baseball.
There's a strike, so the count even at 1-1.
I think that's why they go through so many baseballs. Anytime the ball touches the ground, give me a new one. They're the baseballs.
Rub them up.
There's one for the used ones and one for the new ones that you just mix them up, you never know.
Canna lays off, so 2-1 the count. A lot of pitches for Andrew Heaney. He's now at 67. first and the fourth. The busy innings for Heaney.
There's not even a runner at second in this amount of time. It's one sign, really. It's a runner at second. Ineta would be going through multiple signs, but he's giving one.
Canna, a little flare to right. Calhoun is under it. Makes the catch. Side retired. So the A's cannot score. They leave a pair. We're headed to the fifth inning. Murphy to lead it off. 6-3 Angels. Ford right choice. Last night, Ryan Dull makes his Major League debut. It was a good one. 25-year-old threw an inning. Got the okay from Dominic, and really, what more could you ask for? Had a strikeout, gave up a hit, no runs, 20 pitches, 13 home strikes, and that's a Ford right choice. The Major League debut for one Ryan Dull. And there he is. September call-ups, all teams doing it. Some more than others. He's called up a pretty good group. Saw today where Evan Scribner, who left the game the other night, has a torn lat muscle and he's out for the year. So that's unfortunate for
It is
Scribner.
unfortunate, and he said he did the same thing in 2011 and in the same area. But he made that one pitch, and we saw him just kind of slump a little bit the other night. Came out, and that was it. And too bad, but rest is what he needs, and that's what he'll get.
Canna handles it, throws to Sonny Gray, who steps under that. So one away. Also, Cody Martin, who started last night, was sent back to AAA Nashville. So it was a quick stay for Cody Martin. And as we said, Scribner. Yes, the lat is kind of right below your armpit, right?
Yeah.
Not really the oblique. The oblique's more your side.
Right. And that's what happened to Kendall Graveman. See, think about the number of players on the disabled list that add to the September call-ups.
A 1-0 the count to Ibar, who has grounded out twice. Bunted. Nice play by Sonny Gray. Not a lot of pitchers make that play. And Sonny took care of himself.
Do not know if it's going to happen this year because Keiko is pretty good, but Sonny Gray is going to win a Gold Glove eventually, and this is a great play. If it gets by him, Ibar knows he's got a base hit, but once Sonny Gray, who gets off the mound as quickly as anybody, great athlete, and even a chance to flip the ball, just takes his momentum right to the bag and gets the put out himself. Great play by Sonny Gray.
32 putouts, leads all major league pitchers. Oakland record. Chick Frazier had 35 in 1901. So
I remember no.
Chick moved around pretty well in the mound. I remember when he finished, Ray, he usually was in a fielding position. And that's important.
Yes, it is.
Two 2-0 to Crone. Catfish Hunter. He's a good fielding pitcher.
Good hitting pitcher too, just like Vida and Kenny Holtzman. That's before the DH was part of the game, as it's been for a while now.
Simeon has it, throws across, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sonny Gray. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Laurie, Valencia, and Fegley 6-3. Angels lead the 8th. By Coors the Banquet Beer on this date in 1985. Jose Canseco makes his major league debut. He strikes out in his first at bat. He went on to play 17 seasons in the major leagues. He hit 462 home runs and struck out 1,942 times. Jose Canseco.
And he had a chance in the early part of his career to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
It's too bad.
It is too bad. I'm going to say one of his first home runs before the stadium and Mount Davis was at it. There's a camera in left center, and he hit it way up past the camera. Just a tremendous athlete, 5 tool all the way around.
In the air toward Murphy. And a lot of great players during that era, of course. But I don't know that there was a player who had the power and speed combination of Jose Canseco.
That's 3 pretty powerful hitters there, but Canseco, this might have been the one in the Toronto, and he said, I didn't get it all. 5th deck. I didn't get it all. Yeah. But it's too bad because what Tony La Russa did with him and hitting him fly balls, ground balls, right field, made him a Gold Glove outfielder. Ricky, of course, great left fielder with the ball club.
Second baseman Featherston has a pop up off the bat of Valencia. So So 2 away. There's some of the career numbers for Canseco. He was an all-star 6 times. Rookie of the year in '86. MVP in '88. 42 homers, 142 RBIs, and 40 stolen bases.
We were in Los Angeles just recently. He hit a grand slam game 1 of the World Series in '88. Hit the camera in left center for a grand slam early. And
I wish he would have knocked out those speakers at Dodger Stadium and make that ridiculous noise.
100%.
Came a little short of that.
But he was a talent, and unfortunately, just at times, just stopped working. It's like Sonny Gray's day might be ending early. Edward Mejica's throwing. A lot of pitches for Sonny today.
Andrew Heaney has thrown 73. He's trying to get rolling here. He's retired 4 in a row. Looking for his second 3-up, 3-down inning. 2 to Fegley, and he's going to get it. Fegley chased the ball in the dirt, tagged at home plate, side retired. So it is a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're through 5 at the Coliseum. 6-3 Angels lead.
p.m. game for the final fireworks show of the season that celebrates Green Day's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The East Bay natives and longtime A's fans will be in attendance for a special pregame presentation, followed by postgame fireworks show set to the music of this iconic rock band. Fans are invited to watch the show from the field, but please note space is limited.
So 6-3, and Sonny Gray is done for the afternoon. 87 pitches, 6 earned runs in 5 innings. So that ties a career high, the 6 runs allowed for Sonny Gray. So tough outing. As now it's Edward Mejica. And he's going to get David Freese on a fly ball to right field. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Mejica in 3-4 with a 4.54 ERA. Trying to keep it a 3-run deficit. Fernando Abad starts to throw down in the A's bullpen. Iannetta has hit a fly ball to right field, and he is grounded to first. That's Dull up as well. So Abad and Dull. Curved out outside. So the Angels into today, they are 3.5 back of the Rangers in the wild card. Rangers will play again tonight in San Diego. It'll be the rubber game of that series. Yankees are the #1 wild card team. They got a 4-game lead over the Rangers, and the Yankees are winning today 11-1 at Fenway Park in the 3rd inning. So there's the wild card. Again, Yankees and Rangers 1 and 2, and then how about the Twinkies? 1 back. And then the Angels 3.5, Rays 3.5, Indians 5. So the Yankees got a, I don't know if you want to say comfortable, but they feel pretty good. But the battle for that second wild card is still well out there. And for the Angels, Ray, they still have 7 games left with the Rangers. So even though they're not playing well right now, they can always say, listen, we still got 7 against the team we're chasing. And if you just get on the hot streak at the right time, well, then you can make up 3 or 4 games quickly.
And the amazing thing to talk about the second wild card and how a team is comfortably ahead in a single at the one time when there's just 1 wild card. You had all those teams chasing the one team, and that is a change. So, I mean, if you're a wild card team, you don't want it, period. You just want to have the division. Good fastball from Mejica. But it is so important to win the division now because you are guaranteed the 5-game division series. But as the A's found out last year, the wild card is not something you want to deal with. Unless you're trying to get there and you're very happy with the second wild card.
Backhanded, Simeon throws in time. 8-pitch inning for Edward Mejica.
Let's hope he's okay because he slipped.
Mejica indeed, he fell after he threw. He's getting up slowly.
And for David Murphy, how about this? A base hit to right field. That would play to run. David Freese, this is a big one. A 2-out RBI single to right field, and that was one of the better ones. The A's came back. Josh Phegley with a 2-run home run straightaway center field off the lefty. That made it a 4-3 game. But Albert Pujols, this was one kind of the dagger. A line drive home run just over the fence. And that made it another 3-run game for the Angels over the Athletics. So they were within 1, now 3. And that gentleman knows that that's where the A's stand right now. He's got his glove ready to go. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. I'd like to see the gentleman with the glove and keeping score.
That's a good combination. There's a couple of ballparks where I think maybe this is Mejica. He fell. He walked off slowly, and Ray, I just saw him walk into the locker room.
You know, it might have been just 1 inning anyway with a couple of warming up in the bullpen, but I agree with you.
Collision, but it's Featherston who makes the catch. Ibar not happy, but who knows? Maybe there was 2 people calling for him.
Well, they both went after it. The sun kind of went behind the clouds, and Ibar bumped into him. Do you know what's noticeable about those 2 guys, Kipe, up the middle? Check the sunglasses. The old style.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't see that many, but both are wearing the flip down glasses. They both saw the ball so well, they both went after it, and Featherston caught it. A's were hoping that it would drop. But you don't see a lot of the flip downs, and basically you can see them both flip the glasses underneath the bill of the cap. Flip, and all they have to do is tap right at the edge and they go straight down. But you find the baseball, then flip them down, and they supposedly have the best UV as far as finding the baseball in a tough sun. Yeah, that's good to see those players wearing those. See the
little digit hanging out.
Yeah, and all you have to do is just flip that right there. Just flip that straight down. The glasses go down. Ideally, you find the ball when it goes up, flip down the sunglasses, and the pearl stands out very well.
And Billy Butler swings at a pitch in the dirt, so Butler heads back to the dugout. 5 strikeouts for Andrew Heaney, and he is settling in here, and that's not a good sign for the Athletics.
Well, you know what he's doing, Cap. He's going to a lot of breaking pitches, the changeup. There's a slider in the dirt, and you have to be patient. He's got a stinky fastball, but you just cannot go after the ball. And I think your description of Trout and his swing is right on, because he is so strong and he waits, and most hitters, all hitters really, have that same ability. Some decide they want to try to go after the ball instead of waiting for it to come to them.
So 7 in a row retired by Heaney. No walks and 5 strikeouts, and a first pitch strike to Reddick. Reddick's struck out twice against Heaney. Heaney gave up 5 hits in the first inning, just 2 since then. And a good pitch there, right on the outside corner. So Reddick not happy. Chad Fairchild has called that most of the afternoon. That one
got a slider in his first at bat on 3-2 that he struck out, but since then he's gotten fastballs, and I think that's kind of been a little bit of a fooling effect. Well, you know, the bullpens are crowded. They brought out the folding chairs.
That's true.
They're really loading up.
A lot of crowded clubhouses this time of year. I know Steve Vucinich has a crowded one, but
squeeze in close, guys, and then let's grab the folding chairs, and they're all set.
2-2 is hit in the air, right center. Trout's over there, and Trout has it, side retired. So 8 in a row retired by Andrew Heaney, and we're moving to the 7th inning. 6-3 Angels lead.
Is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, home of the most live sports. And by Black Bear Diner, feed your inner bear.
7th inning, Angels 6 and the A's 3. Angels scored 4 in the very first inning of Sonny Gray, and Sonny Gone after 5 innings today. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. It's Ryan Dull, who made his Major League debut last night. And he's back out there today.
It's so great. You do so well. I say, hey.
Simple stuff, right?
Game after night game, don't think about it. Just go right back at it. He did pitch well last night in his Major League debut. That Venditti is getting loose from the left side. Now he'll shift over in a couple of minutes to the right side.
If you think about it, Ray, with the problems the A's bullpen has had this year, if you're somebody like a Ryan Dull, who's called up in September, A's want to get a close look at him. He had great numbers in the minor leagues. What a perfect spot.
Absolutely.
Because there's spots that are open in that bullpen when you look ahead to 2016.
We were talking last night about you don't think of September and March. You know, spring training and the final month of the season, you don't really evaluate people. But in this case, for Dull, it's like spring training. It's like at the Major League level, facing really some very good big league hitters and important games. He's got a chance to show what he can do. And I agree with you 100% that that's important for him. And look at Pat Venditti, what he has meant to this ball club, getting a chance to pitch. Good to see, of course, Sean Doolittle's back. Pitched well on Sunday.
2-2 now to Calhoun. And for Dull, he faces Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols. And who, you know what? Knowing Bob Melvin, that may be by design.
That's a good point.
See what he's got. Not a big guy, 5'10", 175 pounds. And a good slider. He showed it last night, and he gets a strikeout today with that same pitch.
Right, a little herky-jerky, slings the ball, but he's got a lot coming from behind it, especially that slider that goes straight down, just like Sonny Gray's. And nice job with a 2-2 slider. And you throw it that hard, you're going to get a lot of hitters chasing a pitch out of the strike zone.
There's the breakdown for Ryan Dull from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So here he faces Trout.
You know, you watch him, and he's exactly what you want out of a reliever, coming in and just airing it out. I mean, he does not hold anything back, whether it's a fastball or a slider. And it's not like he's going to pitch a full game, so just let it go. And Drew Pomeranz has proven that. Not that he was trying to pace himself as a starter, but what he's done out of the bullpen has been tremendous.
2-0 to Trout. Came with a fastball. Good pitch. Got in a little bit on Trout. Canha makes a running catch. Nice play by Mark Canha. And there's one stadium in baseball where that's an out. And we're in that stadium.
Well, we saw Krohn try to make a similar play, but Mark Canha, not that he's that familiar because first base a new position, but he ran hard, eyes on the ball, missed the mound, warning track, found it. That is a great play, and especially with Mike Trout, you take and a bat away from him on a foul ball and a 2-0 fastball, keeps it in play to the point that Canha can make a very good one, running that hard to get to the ball. See how hard he sprinted to the ball?
Yeah.
I mean, he did not drift. He really got to it and then reached back and caught it.
Pujols bounces it toward Valencia, who has it. Valencia across the diamond. 9-pitch inning for Ryan Dull. 7th inning stretch coming up. It's 6-3. Angels lead the Athletics. years ago. And what a time it was here at the Coliseum. That was consecutive win number 18. Tejada with a home run. And then the very next day, Tejada did it again. A base hit up the middle, and that was 19 consecutive wins. And if I would have been with you, Ray, I would have said, Ray Fosse, what is happening?
It's all about Miguel Tejada because he was a star that weekend. Of course, the MVP of that 0-2 season, along with Barry Zito, the Cy Young Award winner. So all great things happening in 0-2, and you notice why they did 18 and 19, because the 19th is tomorrow and we're off. There's no game tomorrow, so you can't.
It's good producing by Delaire LaWar.
I mean, what a great job, because come back on Friday and show number 20.
But, you know, we, of course, had the 2012, the great final 3 games here at the Coliseum. We've seen playoff games. But you were here. I mean, where does that stretch? And I'm talking, and that was Labor Day weekend. So that was a Saturday and a Sunday, right? Or a Sunday and a Monday. And then Hatterberg's home run was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday was off. It was a day off, surprising.
So that stretch of 3-4 games, the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th, I mean, that had to be as exciting as any non-postseason game you've been around.
Exactly. I mean, that's the key. I mean, it's regular season, but the fact that they were games that, you know, you look at them and say, oh, it's over. There's no way. And Detroit is a game. Yeah, Wash was coaching third. That's when Miguel Tejada helped him coach third by waving the guys home while he was in the dugout. As Wash was doing it, Miguel was doing it in the dugout. But for Tejada to do what he did against the Twins and Eddie Guardado, hit the home run, and then with the infield, 5 infielders, Kansas City. And, of course, the most remarkable thing was still when Tim Hudson got an 11-0 lead. I will never, ever believe that 11-0, and it's going to come down to 11-11 and require a walk-off home run.
Well, Tejada's home run, Greg Papa had the call, but we want to listen to the color analyst and his reaction as well. Listen into this.
I can't wait.
On the Tejada home run.
Tejada to left field. Well struck. Miguel Tejada has done it. Miguel Tejada has a 3-run walk-off homer to win the game. 18 in a row.
So no offense to the great Greg Papa, because it was a terrific call and he was right in the middle of all that. But the roar from the bear in the background was my favorite part of that. I don't blame you. How could you not be caught up?
It was a remarkable run. It was just one that's unexplainable.
So what was it, a 10-0 road trip, 11-0 road trip?
Yeah,
kind of leading up to everything.
And again, going into Detroit, I think down 7-2 late, and that's when John Mabry cleared the bases, and I think Joe Blanton started the game, and I figured it's over. You know, you get down that much that late, and you figure there's no way, but that's how remarkable it was. They just kept coming back.
Speaking of coming back, Andrew Heaney has come back from that first inning. He's looking for another 3-up, 3-down inning. He's retired 10 in a row and now 94 pitches. So this may be his last batter if he were to get Canna. And he went around. Hard slider, and that is strikeout number 6. So we're through 7, 6-3, and we think it's worth another listen.
Tejada to left field. Well struck. Miguel Tejada has done it. Miguel Tejada has a 3-run walk-off homer to win the game. 18 in a row.
back at the Coliseum. We got one on Friday against the Mariners. Get a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an authentic A's beach towel, a cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher, all for one great price. The best deal in Bay Area baseball is CSN's Authentic Fan Friday, right up there. Friday night. We'll have a good crowd, I'm sure. And it is the top of the 8th inning. Pat Venditti comes in. So David Murphy to lead it off, lefty on lefty. But the fun stuff really starts with Eric Ibar next, because he's a switch hitter. So we'll watch the Pat Venditti declaration. How about that? Does that make sense?
I like that.
He has to declare to the switch hitter and to the umpire what arm he's going to throw with.
And all the matchups, and he knows, and as he has told us, he knows before the inning begins.
Murphy reached for it and pokes it into right field. So here comes Ibar. Let's watch the declaration.
But he's expecting him to throw left-handed because Ibar is going up right-handed. Maybe Ibar doesn't know. And maybe he does know. It's going to be a pinch runner for Murphy.
How about it?
See that?
Number 2, Eric Ibar.
See, Social went out to make sure that the umpire had Venditti declare which way he's going to throw. But like I said, Ibar's going up with a single ear flap, which is on his left. It's Calgill pinch running, so I guess he knew he was going to be pitching left-handed.
Yeah, because he never made that so-called declaration. So Calgill, the pinch runner, leadoff single by Murphy, and then a close play.
That was a defensive move that Mike Social made last night with Calgill going into left field.
Ibar is 0 for 3, so the A's have kept him quiet today. And he takes a strike, 0-1.
Los Angeles, running for Murphy, number 7, Colin Calgill.
RJ Alvarez throwing for the A's.
One thing Pat Venditti did on Sunday, which was very noticeable, and in pitched 2 innings, picked up his first major league victory. He threw more fastballs, and from both sides, it's kind of a mirror image. He'll throw a lot of sliders from left-handed or right-handed. But in the game in Arizona, I think he fooled a few hitters when he started throwing a few more fastballs, and they were taking them, and they were strikes.
A little bit outside, close pitch, 1-1. Joe Smith is in the Angels bullpen.
He is the setup man for Houston Street.
So that would tell you that Heaney's afternoon is probably over. And now 2-1. So Ryan Dole with a perfect inning, his second one, with the strikeout.
Well, if Heaney is finished, he did a very good job, especially after the first inning.
Nice play. Laurie knocks it down, now scrambles after it, underhands it to first. So not an easy play by Laurie. He stayed with it and got a big out.
Just put the glove down, pushed it in front of him, and just kept going and flipped it underhand. Ibar runs well, and for Brett Laurie just to flip it and get a lot on it, enough on it to be able to get the out. That's a great play. Not afraid to put his body in front of anything.
So Bob Melvin's coming out. He's going to make the change with RJ Alvarez to face Crone and then Freese. So Bob wants Alvarez to face a couple of the right-handed hitters. So Alvarez in. We'll be back. fan photo to CSNCA Data Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Dwayne Earpshot sends this photo in, and we certainly appreciate it. As always, A's fans doing a great job sending in their photos, and we enjoy seeing them. RJ Alvarez in to face C.J. Cron. And that one's hit high and foul on the first pitch. For Alvarez, 13th appearance on the year.
And he, like Doe, pitched last night. One of 5 pitchers pitching last night for the Athletics. One of them sent back to AAA.
There's that Alvarez slider. Throws hard, 3/4 delivery. If he could ever just tighten everything up a little bit, he has a chance to be good, but still learning.
You know, I always like to see guys with good arms, because you can figure if they have the good arm that eventually they'll throw strikes consistently. And when they do, especially the sharp breaking ball, the slider that he throws to right-handers, get them to look like it's a good pitch, good strike, and then have a breakaway. Just one out, and that's why the runner at second base getting a little bit extra lead, and that is Colin Cowgill. He is a threat to steal, and with just one out, there's always a concern. 2 outs, you can hold your position, but Brett Lawrie's going to try to keep him a little bit closer.
Swing and a miss. There's that slider, and a good spot for it. Cron chased it, and it's 1-2.
Now this is the tease slider. This is one that looks like a good pitch and then just breaks sharply away. But I think you have a pitcher and a hitter now a little bit concerned about Cowgill at second. For Cron, he wonders if Alvarez is going to throw to the plate or he's going to keep looking back at second base to the point he has to step out.
Runner goes, and the ball's hit down the left field line. Fair. Into the corner, and Cron is going to knock in Cowgill with the double, and it's 7-3. So 2 RBIs today for C.J. Cron, giving him 32 on the year.
Going to be a pinch runner for him as well, and with 2 strikes when Cowgill was running, got the hanging breaking ball, and the sharp slider they threw previously would have been one to throw now. It did not happen, and it's the double down the left field line. But Cowgill was going to steal the base. He had such a huge lead. There's your hanger. Well, as a hitter, you think he just swung at a pitch off the plate, and then comes back, and there's the difference. Just like you said, your difference in the consistency of the pitches. So that is Pat Venditti's run.
Coward is pinch running. Caleb Coward at second base. And that one off of Fegley, and Coward goes to third. So now runner at third with 1 out. So the infield will come in for the A's. So it is a wild pitch by Alvarez.
I think that's a good call. He got a glove on it, but just shows how little time you have to react when you're set up in one part of the plate inside as he was, and the pitch is overthrown outside, and he's upset that he didn't catch it, but tough anyway.
A pitch there to Freeze. So Alvarez needs strikeout or a pop up. Iannetta, another right-handed hitter, waits in the on deck circle. Don't you think, Ray, if you're RJ Alvarez and you want to be a good big league reliever with the way he throws, he has to dominate right-handed hitters.
Absolutely. And throws a slider to the point that it doesn't hang. And after throwing a very good one, that's the consistency that the skipper's looking for.
A little bit inside with a fastball at 94 miles an hour. 3-1 now to Freese. Freese is 1 for 3. He had an RBI single in the first. He has also struck out and he has grounded out. That one in there, first strike. So full count. We'll see if Alvarez goes to the slider at 3-2.
He really should, because you should throw it hard and try to get the strikeout. If he walks him, it sets up a double play. But instead of giving in to him, just throw it, start in the middle of the plate and go off the plate and see if he can get the strikeout.
It's up the middle off of Alvarez. Canna grabs it, hustles to first, not in time, run scores. Coward comes in, and Freese hustling down the line and just beat Canna with a head first slide. So it's now 8-3 Angels.
Check Alvarez, Walt Horn, and the skipper going out. Hard hit ball, fastball right back up the middle and off him so hard that it went over to Canna. So you'd have to think it hit some. Oh, the right shin.
Your attention, please. Running for
You got a pinch runner, Efren Navarro.
number 39.
So Navarro hitting for Freese.
There's your first baseman. Coward goes to third. So
could it be, Ray, that the first time in Major League history we've had 3 pinch runners in 1 inning?
I think that's right. Check it, Joe.
3 pinch runners here in the 8th inning.
Well, Cowgill was going to go in defensively for Murphy, so that stands to reason. Then when Crone came out for Coward, he was going to go to third, and then they needed a first baseman, so they put Navarro in.
Sure. A lot going on.
And they're going to see if Alvarez can stay in the game. They did throw him the fastball outside corner, and that's the reason that Freese hit it so hard back up the middle off of the body of Alvarez.
So Alvarez is going to stay in the game. 2 runs have scored, still only 1 out here in the top of the 8th.
Now batting.
7 hits in the first 2 innings for the Angels, then 1 the next 5, and now this inning.
Iannetta is 0 for 3. Fly out, ground out, strikeout for the veteran catcher of the Angels. Fastball outside corner at 94 for a strike. Yankees leading the Red Sox now 12-2 in the 6th inning. Yankees had an 8-run inning in that game. Let's see what the other game going on in the American League right now. Cole Hamels will pitch tonight for the Rangers in San Diego against Ian Kennedy. It's the Mariners at the Astros. Tawan Walker against Scott Kazmir. Astros continue to have that 3-game lead over the Rangers in the AL West. These Angels will have off tomorrow, just like the A's. Got a very important homestand coming up. The Angels, a 9-gamer. It's Texas, the Dodgers, and the Astros. Oh. So there's your opportunity if you're the Angels. So that is why they want to start playing well. 3 good teams coming up. way inside, and it's 1-2.
You know, when we go to Anaheim for the final road trip, it'd be interesting to see if the Angels, I heard that they may not draw $3 million this year, which would be the first time in the ownership of Artie Moreno, something like 12 or 13 years.
Down a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe that will pick up next week, the next homestand with the 9 games that they have coming up.
And I think Iannetta went around, and he did. Called by Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire. 2 outs here in the 8th.
See, there's your slider that, again, I think back to Caleb Joseph, the Orioles, and asking him, here's the slider with the count of 1-2, but you look at Freeze, and granted you might walk him, but you also take a chance of you could strike out this batter, which he just does, or Iannetta's a candidate for a double play, so you might be able to avoid giving up a run if you take a chance, maybe get a hitter swinging on 3-2. But instead, it went fastball, and he took the ball off his body, and Freeze got the base hit.
So Featherston takes inside.
Thing that Joseph said, and just you could see certain times catchers will call breaking pitches and fastball counts. Basically, you have everything to gain, nothing to lose by doing it.
Fly ball toward Reddick. Back and over, and he's got it. Couple of runs for the Angels. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's now the Angels 8 and the A's 3.
The Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Hey, game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 8-11-1 for the Angels, 3-7-0 for the Athletics. Andrew Heaney was very good. 7 innings. And gave up 3 runs, all in the very first inning, and then really settled down. Albert Pujols with career home run number 555. Sonny Gray struggled today for Sonny. Gave up 6 earned runs. And Josh Fedley with the 2-run homer. That was in the first inning. So to the bullpen for the Angels when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. It's their setup man, Joe Smith. Appearance number 59 for Smith. He'll face Laurie, Valencia, and Fegley. So Cowgill now on the left, as we expected. Caleb Cowart is the new third baseman, and Efren Navarro is the new first baseman. All 3 of those guys were pinch runners in the top of the 8th inning.
So there's a method to Mike Scioscia pinch running. Keep everybody in for defense. Making the moves anyway. Cap, I heard something. I know you and Josh, all the guys into music.
Yeah.
I heard yesterday, did you know that the Everybody's got walk-up music. You know the artist that's used the most?
That's a good question. No.
Led Zeppelin.
Really?
I was shocked. Yeah.
Going back to the 70s.
Led Zeppelin has more of his songs used as walk-up music than anybody in baseball.
That's very interesting.
I mean, they've got statistics on everything. I learned that yesterday, and I said, I never thought they would be that. But I know you guys into the music, and you know all these songs, but I have no idea myself when they come on. But between the drummer and right field,
that's pretty good. Good
yeah,
baseball
I know, Led
music
Zeppelin's a band,
info.
yeah. But I mean, but still, I mean, you think more of what you said, what, 70s?
Yeah.
So.
Pretty powerful. There's a shot to left, and it is gone. A line drive home run for Laurie, and that makes it 8-4. Couple of hits today for Laurie. So number 15 for Laurie, and give him now 54 RBI.
There it is, right in the middle of the plate, and Brett Laurie crushed it. Similar to that hit by Albert Pujols, line drive. I just love watching pitchers whenever they give up a rocket. Joe Smith has dropped his head and over the out-of-town scoreboard. If that had hit that panel, it might have knocked it down. But instead, it went over into the seats. He has been hot. Remember that shot he hit in Phoenix at Chase Field? Very deep in left center.
Valencia chases outside 0-2.
But I can't wait to see Ed Lynch. As Ed Lynch said about Brett Laurie, you keep him healthy, keep him on the field, he's going to have a great year. And again, I think the point you made, that he's still very young.
Yeah.
And he's playing about his 122nd, 123rd game. He only played 70 last year. So Brett Laurie finishing strongly, and that's very impressive for him. And moving to a new position.
Now Valencia called out on strikes. He's in total disagreement with Chad Fairchild. So one away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Check out the pitch.
He's got the two-seam fastball that comes back, and we have seen where hitters would give up on a pitch outside. It did come back like a left-handed slider, and according to Chad Fairchild, look at the movement. That's a tremendous two-seamer that had a lot of movement, and Joe Smith threw that pitch on a 1-2, intentionally trying to grab the outside corner, and Fairchild liked it.
Vogt pinch hitting, drives one to right, and Calhoun cannot quite get it. And Vogt's going to round second. Vogt's digging for third, and he's got himself a pinch hit 2-out triple. Third triple of the year for Stephen Vogt. I said a 2-out triple. It's a 1-out triple.
And important to get to third with the 1 out, and he jumped on the first pitch. I asked Stephen how difficult it is to pinch hit. He said very difficult, and you like to jump on the first pitch, which is what pinch hitters want to do. And up, and let's see if he came close to catching it, jumped just above his head. And once he went for it, it meant that Trout had to back up, which he did. Stephen Vogt, what is it you say? Don't go to sleep on his.
Don't sleep on his speed.
There it is.
It's a double for most people.
So another pinch hitter for the A's. It is Priddy.
So a chance for Priddy to get the A's a little bit closer.
Check it out. Here we go. Is it a home run? Nah, maybe not. Then turn it on the afterburners. Let's go. And once it came off the wall, then he's thinking triple all the way. Infield back. Chance for Priddy to bring him home.
Good year for Priddy in AAA, 20 home runs. And he swings and misses. And they're really giving the A's the run. Infield is back at all positions. So if you're Priddy, you absolutely cannot strike out.
And Caps, he did it in the 4th inning as well. And that's when it was a 6-3 game, and 1st and 3rd. And just like that inning, it's not going to happen, at least with less than 2 outs.
So Smith gets the big strikeout.
And he did strike out, didn't put the ball in play, but I still say when you come up this time of the year and you have not faced these pitchers, and this is the 5th time the A's and the Angels have faced each other this season. You have Pridey for the first time seeing the Angels and seeing Joe Smith, and you could have seen him in the past, but that is not necessarily an easy at bat.
Coward handles a hard hit ball from Butler's side, retired. So the A's get the run on the Laurie home run. So we're headed to the 9th inning from the Coliseum. It's now 8-4. Angels lead.
About number 555, and a shot over the left center field wall. He also, in the first inning, had a big base hit and then scored on a ground ball. But that 2-run home run after the A's had come to within 1 run. It's 4-3, and then Big Albert came up with a 2-run blast on a 0-2 pitch and made it a 6-3 game. So, on the player of the game, Albert Pujols. Probably heard that quite a few in his great career. 11 years with the Cardinals and now with the Angels to close out a Hall of Fame career.
So 5th pitcher of the afternoon for the A's, it's Dan Otero. It's been Gray, Majica, Dull, Venditti, and now Otero. Stephen Vogt stays in the game. He's the catcher. Vogt in for Fegley after pinch hitting. Otero facing Cole Calhoun. Calhoun is 2 for 3 today. He's 5 for 13 in the series. And he's got another hit, a line drive toward right center field. So 3 hits last night for Calhoun, 3 hits today.
Now lost speed a little bit outside, and he went out and just raked it to right field. And it just left up and allowed him to do that. So scored a couple of runs. Pretty good leadoff hitter for Mike Scioscia.
First pitch to Trout is tapped foul off of Trout's foot. Trout is 1 for 4 today. Singled and scored in the first inning. He's 2 for 11 in the series. Houston Street throwing in the Angels bullpen.
It's a non-safe situation again, and I think Mike Scioscia is more concerned about wins than statistics for individuals.
That is a foul ball. Valencia fielded it, went to second, but Kerwin Danley said foul ball.
Thinking about the A's bullpen, and we have seen throughout the season a tough season for the A's pen, but as it is a third base umpire's call after pass the bag, and he aimed it foul, but completed anyway. Look at Tyler Clippard going to the Mets as a setup. And he came to the A's in the offseason as a setup pitcher to Sean Doolittle, and unfortunately Doolittle was injured. But he is evidently has had a great season with the Mets going there as a setup, because familiar as a closer, kind of in the role where he is supposed to be with the A's.
And he did a pretty good job as the A's closer.
Absolutely did a great job considering everything that happened, and being put in a role that he was not expected to be in. He was the closer with the Nationals, and then when Drew Storen took over, and here's Storen with Papelbon going to the Nationals, and Storen goes the 8th, and he's struggling. And as a result, the Nationals are struggling a lot. Maybe to the point they don't even make the postseason.
6.5 games behind the Mets in the National League East.
So you come down to this time of the year, it's called wins, and for the Angels, who are, I'm sure, wanting to go home to have that big homestand.
Burns digging back. Burns near the wall, and Burns can't get it. Calhoun is going to go to third. He'll stop there. He had to make sure Burns didn't catch it. Trout has a double.
Well, I wonder if the sun got him right at the end, because he was under it. Ball stayed in the park. Good swing, Mike Trout. And we've seen Billy struggle in center field with the sun. But he's under it, and then just came up short, and maybe lost it in the last instant right there. Never saw it. Maybe he was trying to find it, could not find it, and really want to try to turn yourself a little bit differently, maybe towards the A's bullpen instead of looking the opposite direction, and looked like the sun did get him. And that's why Calhoun did slow down, thinking he was going to catch it since it was not over the fence.
Pujols. The throw comes home, not in time, and it's an RBI for Pujols, and it's 9-4. A little hesitation by Marcus Semien. And
if he throws immediately, he gets him. Then he looked and saw that he had a chance, made a nice play, and actually holding up was Calhoun. Maybe he thought the ball was in the air enough that it's going to be caught, and then Marcus, throw right there, you're fine, and then decided to overthrew it, pulled Stephen Vogt up the first baseline.
So it goes as a fielder's choice RBI. So 3 RBIs this afternoon for Albert Pujols, giving him 80 on the year. And Trout stayed at second base. So first and second, nobody out.
Yeah.
So the double for Trout. He now has 4 seasons with 25 homers and 25 doubles at least. Before the age of his 24th season, meaning the year he turns 24, the season of that. Frank Robinson just had a birthday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
Number 7.
Skipper of the Indians.
Don't want to give the wrong number of the birthday. I can't quite remember what it was, but that's right.
Triple Crown winner in both leagues. Had a statue unveiled in Oriole Park when we were back there a few years ago.
I think the Reds traded him a little too early, don't you?
Just a little bit. You win a Triple Crown, they trade you, wins a Triple Crown in the American League too. Yeah, he was a great hitter.
He just turned 80, is what we're told. Frank Robinson.
Young man. Vinny's still broadcasting. He's 87.
Yep. This is Colin Cowgill hitting for the first time. He pinch ran for Murphy. Cowgill was an Oakland A for a short time. That's outside.
I think it's always fun when we see Cowgill and Ricky Henderson in the house at the same time. 2 of the rarities. Then they bat right-handed, throw left-handed.
That's right. Cowgill was an A in 2012, and he played in 38 games. Laurie has it. He'll throw to first and then back to second, not in time. So that was a mistake by Laurie. He really had the runner right in front of him to flip to second or to maybe even try to tag him.
Well, just stop it. I think broken bat and Pujols, I mean, you run at him and you get him to stop, and then he has to stop, and there's no way he's going to recover quickly enough. But Laurie just came up quickly, threw to first, and maybe thought Canada could throw back second in time, but not enough time to get Albert.
So second and third, one out, and Fernando Abad coming in.
Now get on board early with 2016 priority seating and choose your exact seating location for next season. A's offer a variety of full and partial season plans that qualify for great benefits, including half-price parking, flexible ticket exchange program, and more. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/2016.
So it's 9-4, second and third, one out, and Abad comes in to face Eric Ibar. So the infield comes in for the A's. Trout's at third, Pujols at second, and Ibar takes a bit inside. So a run in for the Angels. They scored 2 in the 8th and 1 here in the 9th to extend their lead. (2-2) with a 3.82 ERA. The numbers for Abad. Valencia has it. He's coming home, and a good throw, the tag, and Trout is out. So that's out number 2.
And it's contact again. At the speed of Trout, immediately going, but this time hit right to Valencia, and he reacted quickly enough to make a strong throw to the plate. Stephen Vogt had it plenty of time and slide to the side, never got to the plate.
So Pujols goes to third, Ibar now at first, and here's Caleb Cowart. Cowart's a switch hitter.
That's the extra run, and Mike Scioscia decided not to bring his closer Houston Street in. I guess a difference of 4 and 5 at this point.
So there's a lefty out there, Jose Alvarez. Strike called to make the count 2-1. Cowart 2 for 3 in this series. He started at third base on Monday night. Then Freese came off the disabled list, and Freese back in there last night and again today. Cowart was actually a pinch runner in this game for Crone. That was last inning.
Well, the Angels have been hoping that getting Freese back would help them, and what he's done in the series has been a huge help. A very good hitter, and he has shown that in the series.
Reddick to his left toward the line, and Reddick grabs it side retired. Another run for the Angels. So bottom of the ninth, the A's coming up, and they trail 9-4. So 9-4, Angels lead the A's as the A's come to bat here in the ninth inning. So Reddick's going to lead it off. The A's will be off tomorrow. And then the Seattle Mariners will come to the Coliseum Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Houston Astros. So it's an all AL West homestand for the Athletics. Jose Alvarez is the new pitcher, left-hander. Reddick, Simeon, and Burns. First pitch to Reddick is a strike. Aaron Brooks and Edgar Olmos, the pitching matchup on Friday night. A's and the Mariners. Edgar Olmos was the young man who came out of the bullpen when we were in Seattle last week. Pitched pretty well, and he's going to get a start. In the air, shallow center. Trout. Looks like he's fighting that sun a little bit, and he's got it, one away. It's not an A's Mariners series without Felix Hernandez pitching, and he will do that on Saturday against Jesse Chavez. Then on Sunday, Iwakuma and Dupont. So that is the weekend pitching matchups for the A's. And the Mariners will have all three games for you right here on CSN California. But it's also nice to have an off day tomorrow, especially an off day at home. There's not a lot of those during the season. A lot of off days for the A's are spent traveling. 0-1 to Marcus Simeon, who's 1 for 3 today. Good swing there by Marcus. And as we mentioned, the Angels will be off tomorrow as well. They will head home and host the Texas Rangers this weekend. So that is a huge series for the Angels. The team they're chasing coming into their own ballpark. Drive towards center, and it'll fall for a hit. So Simeon is 2 for 4, and that's hit number 10 for the A's.
Backdoor hanging breaking ball, very good for a hitter as always. And Marcus Simeon, a nice finish for him, and it's just a pitch you don't like to see if you're a catcher or manager. You want to see the ball in the dirt, and he left it up as a hanger, and good recovery by Marcus Simeon to get his second hit of the game.
Billy Burns looking for his first hit. Burns is 0 for 4. And he went around.
A defensive or a self-defense swing, but yet too far.
Big bouncer toward third. Out at second. Out at first, and that's how the ball game ends on a 5-4-3 double play. So the Angels come to the Coliseum.